Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fit Women's Weekly Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. I am Kindal. I have been a personal trainer for over 17 years, and I freaking love what I do. I love being able to bring to you guys the science so that you can figure out what works best for you, also share my personal experiences, and help you decide what you need in your life right now to help you get the results that you want. It is always my goal that in these little podcast episodes to have some sort of nugget that you can take with you and go, maybe that's worth trying. Because at the end of the day, we are all very, very different in how our body runs, how our body feels, how our body functions. And so what works for one person might not work for somebody else. So I try to bring all these different options so that maybe one little part makes you go, I'm gonna try that out. In today's episode, I'm gonna share with you the 5 things that I would change in a workout routine to help inspire, to bring back motivation, to help encourage change. If you're currently working out, but what you're doing isn't exactly giving you the results that you want, maybe one of these 5 things is exactly what you need to help push some results into your life. So before we jump in there, first off, welcome to the show. If you're brand new, I hope that you enjoy what you hear in this show. You go back and listen to previous episodes, and you come back to listen to future episodes. I put new podcasts out every single week. And if you do love the show, please do me a favor. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, like the video. And if whatever platform that you're listening to this on, whether it's a podcast platform or it is on YouTube, leave a comment. Obviously on YouTube, leave a comment down below. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, hopefully that means a really great testimonial. It does help me, it helps the podcast grow, and I listen to every single testimonial that you guys share, so thank you so much. All right, we're gonna keep this episode pretty short and sweet because I am wanting to do a little bit better with these episodes of just, here's our topic, let's cover it, and then you can go on with your day. The faster and the more concise I can be at providing you the information, the easier it is for you then to take that information and use it, implement it in your day-to-day life, right? That makes sense. I was thinking about this on my walk this morning of just, if I had to make changes or if I were talking to somebody just off of the streets and they were saying, man, I'm working out consistently, but I'm not seeing the results. What would I tell that person? So here are the 5 changes, again, that I would make to my workouts if I wasn't seeing results, or if I was talking to somebody and they're like, what's going on? What do I need to do? Here's what I would recommend. Change number 1, get yourself a workout partner and or a personal trainer to work with. If you do not have a personal trainer and you're designing your own workouts, first off, chances are you're probably programming yourself workouts that aren't doing you any favors. I don't know about you guys, but I fall into this sometimes too, that we design for ourselves what we want to do versus what we need to do. Whereas if somebody else were to write a program for you, you're probably going to look at that and go, ooh, that looks really hard. I don't want to do that. Yet that's what you need, because at the end of the day, what creates results? Results are created from your workouts when you put your body in an uncomfortable position that it's never been in, and your body is then forced to adapt to it. And that happens most likely when you're not designing your own workouts. We fall into this habit of just doing the things that we want to do from day in to day out. And so that's why having a personal trainer is so valuable. I myself, as a personal trainer, can understand why even personal trainers have personal trainers. I have my husband who is a trainer who will design workouts for me all the time because he knows that I fall into that same category. I'm not gonna stay away from, what am I trying to say here? Let's just say I fall into that same category, and so I need someone from time to time to have a different outlook for me and design my stuff. So I have a personal trainer too, and I highly recommend that you get yourself one. And maybe that's me. Maybe you're like, hey Kindal, will you be my trainer? I'll explain more on that in just a second. But if maybe having a personal trainer isn't an option for you right now, I get that, then have a workout partner, because maybe you're finding workouts from places online. You're pulling from YouTube or you're pulling from Instagram, which is great, but are you then pushing yourself to the level that you need to get outside of your comfort zone? And again, make this place for your body where it goes, what are you doing? I need to adapt. And having a workout partner can really help with that. It can help with the intensity. It can also help with the accountability. I have had a workout partner pretty much since I started my workout journey. I had a workout partner in college. She was my college roommate, and we did not work out together. So I think that should also be clarified. Your workout partner doesn't necessarily have to be someone who is doing the exact same workouts with you, but somebody that you can trust, someone who can help hold you accountable, call you out, and somebody who is also active so that you can check in on that person. My college roommate was on our track team, so she would tell me about her strength training routine, and then she'd also help hold me accountable, saying, did you get your workouts done? So that's kind of where it started. And then as I got more and more into my own fitness, my workout partner became one of my best friends that I met through working out. A lot of you guys know of Alex. She's been on this podcast several times. We used to have a workout Instagram together called Workout Wifeys, and we would only work out once or twice a week together, but every other day of the week, we would text each other every day. What did we do? What weights did we use? How did we feel in that workout? Even though we weren't doing the same workouts, it still helped us because we were able to wake up in the morning and go, well, Alex has already done her workout. I need to have mine done so that we can check in together. And it was just this really great way to help push us and keep us going. So if you can, get a personal trainer. If you can't, at least get a workout partner, and at the highest level, have a personal trainer and at least a workout partner or a workout community. And again, it doesn't have to be somebody that you're actually working out with, but somebody who can you can check in with and just kind of let them know where you are on your progress. Tip number 2 is get heavier weights. If you're not seeing results with your body, are you pushing yourself to an uncomfortable place? I have done a podcast episode on this with recent research showing that over 70% of people aren't lifting heavy enough to actually force their body to adapt to change. They are not progressively overloading their system. We've talked about progressive overload before. And if you are not lifting heavier or making your body work harder, then your body adapts. It's never going to actually get stronger. It's never going to get more toned. Your body is going to become in a state of plateau, right? So you want to make sure with your workouts that you are pushing yourself to either lift heavier weights. And if that's not an option, if you're working out at home, I get it. Weights can be very expensive. I have a limited amount of weights myself. So if you can't lift heavier weights, lift the weights that you do have for more reps. Increase your volume. If you can't increase the intensity with the weights that you use, increase the total volume that you're lifting. So let's say you're lifting, all you have are 20-pound dumbbells, right? So one week, maybe you're doing sets of 10 to 12 with your squats. Over time, work that up to 12 to 15, 15 to 17, but gradually make your workouts harder from one session to the next, and that's how you're going to drive results. Do not continue to do the same workout every single time. I see this probably on Reddit a lot where people will post, hey, can you look at my workout routine and give me your thoughts? That's kind of a big thing in the Reddit world. And the workout of itself is fine if you keep it the way it is. If you want to do, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a leg workout where it's 3 sets of 10 for squats and deadlifts, and you keep that format for a couple of weeks, like 8 to 12 weeks, that's fine, but still something has to change from one week to the next. And that means making sure that you're not just doing 3 sets of 10 squats at 20 pounds every single week. That maybe that's the first week, and then the next week you're going to 25 pounds and then 30 pounds. So get heavier weights. If you can't get heavier weights, change the amount of reps that you're doing to make it harder on your system. Tip number 3, if you don't do steady state cardio regularly, do more cardio. This is a 2-parter, don't worry. So this is part A of it. If you don't do steady state cardio, being like a zone 3 cardio where you're just able to keep a comfortable pace for a prolonged amount of time, you need to start doing that. Not only for your general health because it's important for your heart health and your lung health, right? But it's also going to make it easier on your recovery for your weightlifting sessions. If you are somebody who you're doing sets of 12 for heavy lunges and you put those weights down at the end of the 12th one and you feel like you've just run a 5K, first off, that happens a lot. But two, that's a sign that your cardiovascular health isn't where it needs to be. Those kind of like doing lunges and having your heart rate go up, that is not a cardio workout. I know that a lot of people that do strength training workouts will say like, 15 reps, that's my cardio. No, that's just your body being put into a stressful situation, and the way that your body reacts to that is by your heart rate coming up, but that's not cardio. However, if your body is more efficient at cardio workouts like zone 3 training, then you will be able to recover faster from your weightlifting and be able to go from one set to the next a little bit faster. So really make sure that your workouts are balanced when it comes to cardio and strength training. One is not better than the other. They are both very, very important, which takes me to point 2 of this, which is if you don't lift weights and all you do is cardio, it's time to start lifting your weights, right? We're talking about bone health. We're talking about decreasing your risk of injury. We're talking about being able to balance, use your stabilizer muscles more when you're doing your cardio. And we're again talking about that total package. So make sure that you have the total package when it comes to your workout routine. You want to make sure that you're fitting in the cardio, and you want to make sure that you are fitting in the weightlifting. Don't neglect it. Hybrid training is very, very important. And I'm not just saying that because hybrid training has kind of become a big ticketed word over the past couple of months. This is something that I've been preaching since I have started as a personal trainer over 17 years ago, that they are both very important to a healthy lifestyle. Tip number 4, we're already on tip number 4. Make sure that your weightlifting is targeting the big 5. Now, what is the big 5? Big 5 is about balance training with your body, specifically when it comes to lifting weights. You want to make sure, and I have done an entire podcast episode on this in the past, these are the 5 areas that you need to make sure are included in your weekly strength training. Number 1, pushing exercises. Specifically, I'm talking about upper body pushing exercises. Pushing exercises like push-ups, which would be a horizontal press. So push-ups or chest press or overhead press, literally things that you are pushing the weight away from your center. Then number 2 would be pulling exercises. If you push, you need to pull. So while pushing exercises works the anterior, the front part of our body, pulling exercises is going to work the posterior side of our body. Again, making sure that we are balancing things out. If you are overtraining on one, it's going to weaken the opposite. And not only can you put yourself at risk of injuries, not necessarily even from weightlifting in itself, I'm just talking about injuries from day-to-day life, you're also going to eventually look a little bit funny. People who have their shoulders hunched over, chances are they're sitting down a lot at their desk, and that means that their front side, specifically their pecs, are really tight and pulling forward. So you want to make sure that you're working your back muscles so that you can compensate for that, bringing the shoulder blades back and evening yourself out again. So we have our push, we have our pull. Same thing, pulls, just like with our pushes, have horizontal and vertical. Our pulls also have horizontal and vertical. So we're talking about bent over pulls, rows, or if you can, things like pull up, which would be a vertical pull. Then we have number 3, going to our lower body, we have our hip hinge movements. Things that work with the posterior chain of our glutes, our lower back, and our hamstrings. And we're talking things like deadlifts is the most common one that we think of, so it's very important. Deadlifts, good mornings, hip hinges or like glute bridges, kettlebell swings, a lot of kettlebell movements just in general, the ballistic movements like swings and snatches and cleans utilize that hip hinge movement where we're thinking about bending at the waist, pushing your hips back. That's a hip hinge. That's what drives the movement. So that's number 3. Number 4, the opposite of the hip hinge movement would be a knee flexion, knee extension driven movement. So things like squats, where it's initiated by pushing those knees forward as we bring our butt down versus taking our butt back like we would for a hip hinge. So things like lunges, for example, step ups, Squats and a lot of different squat variations would be examples of knee flexion, knee extensions, which are going to help with our quad strength as well as still focusing on hamstrings too. So those are the big four. And then the fifth movement is our core. Our core is not just considered the abs. Our core is our entire trunk. It is what protects our spine. It is what allows us to be able to move forward, sideways, rotate, lift weights, bend over, and everything comes from that center, from that core. And if we neglect that, then we're not going to be able to do the push, the pull, the hip hinge, because we're missing that stability that comes from a strong core. And you don't have to do exercises like sit-ups to be able to develop a strong core. A lot of just doing really big compound exercises like front squats, for example, or proper deadlifts will still work the core, but I do think it's important to add core accessory work to the end of your workouts to be able to really make sure that you're honing in on that area and protecting your spine. So my personal favorites for core work would be planks, hollow holds, ab wheel. Yes, the ab wheel is one of my favorites. I think it is a very undervalued exercise, and it's like $13 to buy an ab wheel, but if done properly, it has been shown to fire off the entire core area. You're going to be working your shoulders, you're going to be working your chest, you're going to be working your back, you're going to be working your abs. So if you have the option, go over to Amazon and grab an ab wheel, y'all. I'll make sure to put that in the show notes too if you're curious about it. And then number 5, do the exercises that you don't like. And that kind of takes me back to that tip number 1, where get yourself a personal trainer or get yourself a workout partner, but also just means setting new goals for yourself. Don't stay in your comfort zone all the time. Ask yourself, what is it that you truly want to accomplish? And then do the things that it takes to accomplish those. It does mean getting outside of your comfort zone. Be comfortable not being comfortable. It is okay to be pushed. It is okay for our muscles to hurt. It's okay to have a little bit of DOMS, delayed muscle soreness. It is okay to sweat really hard. It's okay to have to stop in the middle of workouts. I think that we see people like CrossFit athletes, for example, that are able to do these really big workouts one time at a time without taking a single rest. And we feel like if we have to rest, then we're not doing it appropriately. And that is not the case at all. It just means that it's hard on the system, and making things hard is what drives results. And doing the things that we don't like to do is most likely because we're not good at those things. And the only way that you can get good at them is to continuously practice them, practice the drills that lead up to them, and freaking go for it. Women have a really hard time with upper body work. We have a lot less upper body mass than a guy does, than men do. So doing things like pull-ups or chest press are really hard for us, and so therefore we kind of tend to neglect those things just because we're not good at it, or we think we'll never be able to get a pull-up. That's not the case. You got to start working on it. And now on the flip side, biological men oftentimes are weaker on their lower body. So you always see the joke of men that skip leg day because they don't like to do leg day very often because they know that's not their strong suit. They know that their strong suit is how big can I get my bench press? Well, you know what? You can get really good at deadlifts and squats, again, if you make that a bigger priority in your life. So do the things that you don't necessarily want to do because those are the things that you need to do. So those are the 5 changes that I would instantly make in my training routine if 1, I'm not very motivated, 2, I'm not seeing results. And also, if it comes down to not being motivated, why is it that you're not motivated right now? Is there something going on in your life? Is this just a really busy chapter? In which case, I think it's important to remember that it comes down to consistency over perfection. So if you're not motivated just because life is so busy right now, instead of aiming for 60-minute workouts, maybe aim for 30-minute workouts. And then on the days that you can't even fit a 30-minute workout, remind yourself that something is better than nothing, and maybe aim for a 10 to 15-minute workout. You can actually accomplish a lot in just 15 minutes, especially if you follow the rules that we've talked about and you put yourself in that uncomfortable situation of saying, I'm gonna do what I can for this 15 minutes and give it everything that I have. When you have a 60-minute workout, you kind of have more time to take rest breaks, right? You go at a slower pace. When you have 15 minutes, you're gonna push with 100% intensity in that 15 minutes, and you're gonna be able to see, wow, I can do a lot in a little bit of time. So stop aiming for perfection and just aim for what you have right now. And then also, if motivation isn't your thing, right, you're just not motivated, find a workout program that makes it exciting for you. Find a workout program that has workouts that you actually say, man, this is fun. I want to wake up and I want to try this out. If you're falling into that routine where you are doing the same workout Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then a similar, like the same workout on Tuesdays and Thursdays, maybe it's just time to change things up completely. Find a new personal trainer or whether that's online or a new online program that just tweaks things, because sometimes simply changing up your routine can also deliver results. So just a little bit of food for thought. If you are looking for a new workout routine, you're looking for a personal trainer, you're looking for a training partner, you're looking for a program that has the push-pull, hip hinge, the knee-driven exercises, so that you don't have to think about it, because you shouldn't have to design your own workouts, right? Leave that to the experts. Then come work out with me. This podcast is sponsored by Fit Women's Weekly, and I have an online program called Fit Women's Weekly Live, where every day I go live. I go live for a 60-minute session and I go live for a 30-minute session. Even if you can't make it live, the workouts still stay available so that you can hit play when you're ready. But with that, I am your trainer. I'm going to show you the workout for the day. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to give you modifications. I'm going to give you the expectations for that workout. And then I'm going to become your actual training partner and lead you through the workout rep for rep. I'm going to count the reps out loud. I'm going to huff and puff. I'm going to struggle through the workouts sometimes with you. I'm going to have to take rest, but we're going to get through it. And it's going to make things fun, but also help you push yourself to a level where you actually get results. And you're doing the exercises you may not always want to do, but they're the exercises that you need to do. So if that sounds cool with you, then I will put that link down below. But with the topic for today, I didn't want to not shout out Fit Women's Weekly Live, because it really is a great opportunity. I think that it is a very unique online program. Most trainers, they're not doing the full workouts. They'll give you the rundown, but I'm actually doing it from start to finish with you every single day. And the way that the week is laid out is also really great, so that you don't have to do every single workout. I don't expect anyone to work out every single day with me. It's kind of like going to your studio down the road where you know classes are going on, but you're gonna make it work for your schedule, right? So the layout real fast before I call it a day is on Mondays are cardio interval days, which yesterday was a very big cardio day. Tuesdays are total body strength training, so dumbbells, moderate to heavy weights with that. Wednesday is upper body and core. Thursdays are leg days and glutes. Friday is another total body day focusing on kettlebells, which if you can't do kettlebells, that's okay. I also give other options for those days. And then on the weekends, on Sundays, we do a full body stretch and recovery class. And all of those packaged together creates your ideal training program that you can fit with other forms of fitness. So we've had lots of clients that have trained for marathons and half marathons or obstacle course races. I myself have also trained for those events while at the same time leading Fit Women's Weekly Live. So it's more than possible, and I will help you create the schedule and the type of workouts that fit best for where you are and what your goals are. All right, didn't want to get off of the topic with that, but again, I just thought that it made sense since we talked about those 5 things. So there we go. Next time, I should probably cover the 5 changes that I would make to my nutrition if I am stuck not seeing results with my body, because I feel like we really can't talk about changing our bodies without talking about our fitness levels, what we're doing inside the gym, but also talking about our nutrition, which is actually a little bit probably more important than what our actual workouts are when it comes to that. So be on the lookout for next week's podcast. We'll chit chat about that. And if you have any questions, let me know. Again, if you're watching this over on YouTube, comment down below. If you're listening to this on your podcast platform, feel free to reach out to me. You can do that on social media. On Instagram, I am Kindal Boyle Fitness, or even feel free to shoot me an email, kindle@fitwomensweekly.com. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Remember, leave a review, subscribe, leave a comment if you're on YouTube, and like the video. Thank you so much. I will talk to you soon.